Welcome to Acropolis Comic Corner. I'm Chance. This is Mac, aka Darth Bacon. This is Tony.
I don't have a nickname.
Not yet. We'll get him one next week, though. Today we're going to be talking about the new release of Iron Man, which I really love this comic. This comic is really, really sweet. In this comic now you get to see, I guess, all the Iron Man suits. I guess he put them all into one, so you got like the Hulkbuster suit, you
It's
have
like
the War Machine suit, and what else?
They call it the variable armor, I think. I'm not positive about that, but it is more than just having all the cool suits in there. It just adapts to any situation.
Right.
Like issue 3, I believe, he turns into a freaking samurai.
Yes. Yes. Really fucking
Yes.
It's got to be the coolest armor to come out from any Iron Man.
Yeah.
Ever.
One of the things that I have remembered about Iron Man armor, and I think this happened, you're going to hear me refer back to Civil War a lot, just it is sweet. But if I remember correctly, it was a Civil War, or maybe it was in the Initiative, but his armor was like nanotechnology to where his suit was inside his skin.
Yeah,
And then it would just come right out,
Yeah.
you know, when he was ready to go.
This one's kind of like that, except for it's outside of the skin.
Right.
It just, like, there's one issue 4, he like sends it to get on the Madam Mask. No, it was issue 5. It was issue 5. He sends his suit to cover up Madam Mask.
That's right.
It was all like little itty bitty pieces flying out there. It was just
And then he was controlling her from his apartment or something, was it? From the tower, from Stark Tower, was it? 'Cause he was behind a computer when he was doing that.
no, he was in the room with him,
Or no, when they were
exercising the
yeah,
demon.
when
Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom had to
Yeah.
show up. Yeah.
Well, we need to get back on track here. We're talking about how sweet the armor is.
Right.
Giving away all the story elements.
Right. Yeah. So basically, Iron Man's back, and Madam Mask is running around trying to get the Wand of Watum, and I guess apparently she has a I don't know. She has like a replica, if I remember correctly, right? Or it's not the one. She
Right.
She doesn't have the actual Wand of Watum.
In issue 1, she breaks into Doctor Strange's castle, I guess, Doom or whatever.
Or Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Breaks into Doctor Doom's castle and steals the Wand of Watum. Well, it turns out it was a replica. And this is the first time you get to see Doctor Doom's healed face, which we mentioned in the other video that Reed Richards ended up fixing it. But the comic book community was like, wait a minute, how did Doctor Doom have a healed face? Who is this guy?
Even Tony Stark was confused. He's still confused. Every issue that you read, that's one thing he can't get off of. How did Victor Von Doom become so handsome? It's just
Yeah, I think he's jealous.
that's what I mean.
There's another ladies' man in town.
Yeah. Got some competition.
I mean, Iron Man is only my favorite because I'm Tony.
Right.
And a ladies' man.
Right.
All right.
My wife's gonna kill me.
But yeah. So anyway, she's trying to get this Wand of Watum, and she has a false one, which I believe Doctor Doom has the actual Wand of Watum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's trying to track her down and figure out why she wants it and all this other jazz. And one thing that I really liked out of this series was that Mary Jane is going to work for Tony Stark.
Mary Jane is the new Pepper Potts.
Yes.
Yes,
If
exactly.
anybody has ever watched the Iron Man movies, that's who she is now.
Yeah. Basically his secretary, which he's not doing it just for that. You know damn well.
It's Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's Tony Stark.
But
I like how
they
they-
do. Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I like how they also introduced her, sorry guys, as the supermodel. And she's got her own club. And she's talking about living with this superhero community, dealing with all these guys. She was sick of it. And it just runs right back up into her.
That's right. She left.
No pun intended.
She left New York and went to Chicago to open up a nightclub.
Yeah.
First night she opens it up, who shows up?
Yeah.
Madam Mask.
The reason she left New York was because of the Superior Spider-Man events.
Yeah.
And she got, because Peter Parker just kind of threw her to the curb, started dating a midget.
Yeah.
It really did happen, if you guys read it.
No, yeah,
And she got pissed, goes to Chicago, and then her club gets blown up again.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta suck to be Mary Jane.
First night too. So, and she had an exorcism in the middle of the club too, right?
Yeah.
But she's also, a lot of people don't. Well, I'm sure you know this if you're a pretty if you read a lot. Mary Jane is Jackpot. She also is a superhero herself, or was a superhero. And matter of fact, Spider-Man didn't even know that Mary Jane was Jackpot.
Which is funny.
Yeah, so makes me kind of wonder if where she goes back to work for Tony Stark, if she's going to kind of see his tech and his gear and stuff, and starts to get the idea of like, well, how can I make Jackpot more badass?
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm actually thinking is probably going to happen. Is
It probably could, because Pepper Potts becomes a superhero.
Yeah.
She's got her own Iron Man armor.
yeah.
I forget what they call it.
Oh, God.
Break or something.
No, well, I don't remember what it was called. They mentioned it in Armor Wars. I think it was Armor Wars, in the Secret Wars, Armor Wars, I should say. But
But yeah, that's a real possibility. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that'd be
Something to
really
come out of
cool.
it. One thing I really thought was cool is if you're up to date on all the other titles, the city of Watum is mentioned in 2 other titles, which is kind of crazy how they're gonna make all these come together. Because you have in issue 1 they talk about the wand of Watum. In issue 2 of Doctor Strange they talk about the Grimoire of Watum,
Oh,
which leads to the city of Watum. Which the events that are happening right now in the Doctor Strange title are kind of weird, and it's not really the typical Doctor Strange book. But entities are coming in and they're like destroying magic, which is kind of neat. But how is that going to tie into this?
right.
Because they never really tell you who the main antagonist is.
Probably Dormammu.
No, read the Doctor Strange books.
No?
No, because this entity is not. They're technologically driven.
Oh.
They're not magical entities.
Probably Doctor Doom behind it all. You know what I
Could be,
mean?
yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it. But it's a great book. It's written by Brian Michael Bendis, who that guy always writes gold, in my opinion. He always writes good stuff every time. I'm not sure who the artist is. Who is the artist? I believe it is Marquez?
That guy.
Yeah, that guy that says Marquez. It's probably him. Just wild guess. But,
There's some great taglines in this series too.
Mustache Bros.
Yeah, we should be the facial hair bros.
Facial hair.
that's
We
right.
should-
Awesome facial hair.
Yeah, we should. That should be our sign off.
Yeah.
The awesome facial hair
One
bros.
thing that I haven't, and I hate to say it, but I haven't read that much of the Doctor Strange titles, even though he's like, probably always has been one of my more favorite characters in the Marvel Universe, just because he's the guy that's always got the answer to whatever your problem is, if you can get a hold of him. But he actually helps Tony Stark in this, and he doesn't help him with the exorcism, but he helps him in different ways by kind of, I guess what you would say is kind of guide him through, what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool because you get to see that new Doctor Strange character too, which I was never really a big fan of Doctor Strange, so I don't really know a lot of his backstory. But in his new series, he's kind of aloof and like not very. He doesn't really have the intensity of purpose, I guess you
Right,
would say.
right.
And you kind of get that in this series too, because Tony Stark goes to him for help, and he's just kind of like, "Well, this is kind of what's going on, so have fun dealing with that."
Yeah, I have to go deal with this other
Yeah.
BS I got to deal with. So, yeah. What else is kind of going on in the storyline up to right now? I guess.
Well, Madame Mask turns out she's got a demon in her.
Yep, that's right.
Doesn't love Tony Stark anymore,
No.
which is kind of cool. Her character's been overplayed over the years. That dynamic is dead, hopefully forever.
Yeah.
But after issue 5, it just kind of wraps up the Madame Mask part of it and kind of opens up, well, what's going to happen next.
One thing that I noticed in the comic too is she had lost her mask and she got mad about it. And she said, "Give me my mask back." And it kind of showed the hair over her face a little bit. She said, "Give me my mask back." Like, is her face scarred? Is it messed up?
Well, they
Because-
show you in issue 5, they pull the mask off, and she's got like a demon face. Like,
That's
it's
right.
all like sharp teeth and big eyes. So that's probably why the demon was popping out.
contained when the mask was on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really cool thing too is Friday. There's no Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His personal
Yeah, that's
assistant.
cool.
They kind of took the cue from the movie that he didn't really need a butler. So
Yeah.
now he's got a AI,
Yeah.
just like Spider-Man 2099, which is actually a character in the book itself. Does covers a lot of the comedic relief between the characters and stuff. Thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, one thing that I always thought about with Iron Man and Jarvis was like, you know, that's a total Batman thing.
Yeah.
You know, Batman
Yeah.
and Alfred, really rich guy,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
kinda-
actually why Jarvis was an AI in the movies. They didn't want it to be a campy Batman movie, so
Right,
they
right.
said, "Well, how are we going to keep Jarvis in the film without making him a butler?"
Because you gotta have him. You know.
Which was a good move because now he's Vision.
Yeah.
That was a great
Yeah,
movie.
that was cool.
Yes.
Definitely cool. Yeah, they don't follow the comic storyline very well. The movies don't, but they still have their own good storyline to them, which I really like. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about with Iron Man?
Yeah, this book is an essential read if you're trying to follow the Marvel universe right now, because Iron Man shows up in almost everything.
You know.
Doctor Strange shows up in almost everything. So if there's two titles you need to buy, it's got to be this one.
And we know he's going to show up in the next Civil War. That's been
Yeah, Civil War 2.
About that.
Yes.
So, all right. Mac, is there anything you want to add?
I think you guys said it best, man. This is an essential read. You guys can't emphasize that enough, man. You got to pick this up. You got to check it out.
Yep, we have still quite a few issues left. Come on down and pick it up. And we hope to see you soon. Every Wednesday, get new comics at I'm Chance. This is Mac, aka Darth Bacon. And this is Tony. We'll get him a cool nickname next week. That's alright. That's alright. See you guys later.